A guilt email might be good though. Like, you know.
Well, if he doesn't get it till 2027, what good is it going to
Oh,
You're right.
I can't write the word
Excuse me.
dildo in the title on Twitch. That's
Jeffrey
so
doesn't have
funny.
a guilty bone in his body. He's not going to feel guilty.
What's the? I'll just do some. We'll just make it up. I thought I'd get in trouble for using the word dildo in the title of the today's show, but you know,
I said, how many dildos is too many? You know, you can never have enough.
What other word can we use?
I don't know.
Vibrator?
I don't
We're
know.
live.
We
I
are
don't
live.
think they were all vibrators, right? I don't even think they were all vibrators.
No, who knows? Well, we're going to talk about it, but for some reason, it just nothing wants to work. The Instagram doesn't. I think it's dildos. I think it's the dildos. The dildos have brought us undone.
It's definitely the dildos.
It's definitely the dildos.
Is this thing on?
Definitely.
Definitely the dildos. Definitely the dildos. Go live. I changed it to... All right, we're live on Twitch for anyone that cares.
We're live on Facebook.
We are apparently live on Instagram. Yay!
Okay.
I don't know what's happening. Apparently, the word dildo is offensive, but if it wasn't in the news, we would be using it.
Well,
hello, Celtic Dragon Paranormal. Thanks for being here. Welcome to Uncensored Radio's UCR Live. A trio of awesomeness today because we have been abandoned by our beloved leader, but that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll let it slide this time. This time we'll let it slide. But yeah, it's been a busy week. I mean, there's been some stuff happening, you know, everyone's living the dream and doing all the things, right? How are you, Christina? What's going on?
It's been great. You know, who can't complain about a beautiful week, right? The only good thing to come out of it is that I am coming to Jeffrey's in October. So I'll be there the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th.
Oh, yay!
We have to talk about New York.
I know.
In November, too.
I had said, I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask my mom. So I just shot her the text. And she said yes. So everything is underway to take care of the kids. Yeah. And if you guys are going into the city, where are you going for the first week? Because the first weekend of November is my anniversary.
But if you don't want to go to a show, we can either do something Saturday afternoon.
What's the anniversary?
It's the
anniversary.
Whichever you want, honey bun.
We'll talk. It's all right.
We'll figure it out.
We'll talk. No big whoop. We're gonna be together.
I was like, my mom's like, "Oh, can you go the next weekend?" I said, "I don't think the Australians will be there." And she goes,
well, it's only one Australian this time. You're gonna get Luke. You're getting Luke later this year, so you'll be right.
December.
We are drip feeding you Australians as it is.
I'm okay with that.
Vera, how are you?
I'm great. You want to know what happened to me this week?
Yeah, of course. You bought a car.
I bought a new car.
Yeah, girl.
Yay. I'm really excited. I had a great week.
What are you flying in now?
I got another Ford Escape, but I got a hybrid.
Nice.
It sings when I back up. It goes ding, 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 ding. When you put the car in.
Cool.
You're a fancy lady. Look at you.
I guarantee. Tell me in like a month if that doesn't bother you.
So I don't have to look down to figure out how fast I'm going.
Oh, cool.
Look at you joining the 21st century.
It's probably the coolest car I've ever driven.
That's exciting.
I like to define myself by my cars or my appliances, but I think I might define myself with this one.
Yeah. But now I will, because things
definitely.
Money can't buy happiness, but things do like fill the holes, you know.
Yeah,
please. My whole persona has changed since I bought a Jeep Cherokee, like because I love my Jeep Grand Cherokee.
People that collects the ducks.
Yeah, I have a duck in my fucking front of my truck. I need to get more,
Yeah.
but I want like I have one white one because I have a white Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I love it. I will never get another truck. It's like my favorite thing ever in life. It
There's a
doesn't sing to
woman
me when I
around the
back up.
corner from me who has like 30 ducks. It's like, how can she see out of her? Like,
Yeah, my cousin's wife has like 50, like at least 20 lined up.
Yeah.
She has a Wrangler though, so I mean it's cooler, but I mean still it's so cute. Like I think it's adorable.
You're a Jeep
I
mob
did
now. A
think
Jeep
about the
mob.
Jeep,
Yeah.
but the Jeep hybrids are way out of my price range.
Oh yeah, no, forget it. I mean this is a 2020, so
Yeah.
And it's very easy to get carried away though when you're in there. You're like,
yeah.
you're like, this thing
Yeah,
does this, and I need it for some reason.
the only thing I did was like splurge on the WeatherTech mats because I definitely recommend getting them because it's so worth the money and you'll spill something and you'll be pissed because like or the snow and the mud and it's just like ugh, it's not even worth it. So definitely WeatherTech to protect everything because especially if you bought it, like keep it for as long as you possibly
Yeah.
can.
That's what Christina says. Whether
WeatherTech stamp of approval.
Hopefully Steve won't wipe out this time.
Oh my god. And hopefully a coffee won't spill, right? I heard a coffee spilled in the other car.
The first one to spill coffee in the car is going to be in trouble.
no, that was Jeff's
Oh,
car
man.
that got that. That was Jeff's car that had the coffee spill and the ungodly stench.
Oh
Y'all better
god.
hope that it's me that spills first.
Yeah, I know, right? I would hate to be like the first person to do that in someone
I
else's
don't know
new
how long
car.
it's going to be before anybody's allowed to eat in the car.
Shoes off in the car.
Yeah, right.
Well, we're not there.
Vera's gonna wrap the seats in plastic. I'm like,
No, I won't do that.
I would. No one is ever in my car but me, really. Like it's so weird. When I'm like
Same.
passenger.
No, that's not true. She is in my car a lot.
There you go. I've been in your car. Or your old
My
car.
kids have taken over
My
my
old
car.
car. You haven't
So
been in the
there's
new one yet.
toys
Ooh.
everywhere.
Little feet.
Actually, my son has this little train, and you know those toys where like you push a button and something pops up, or you like you turn
Yeah.
something pops
Yep.
up. So it's a train, and so every now like I leave it on, like it's in the on mode.
Every now and then
anytime like
comes to
I
life.
take like a sharp turn or like and it like moves in the back, it's like,
Yep.
are you ready to drive the train? It just goes off in the back. And I'm like, fuck, like it'll be like nighttime.
Get the
I'm
shit
like,
out
what
of
the
you.
fuck was that? Like,
Who's back
oh
there?
my God.
Trying to kill you. Someone's trying
Oh.
to kill me with the
fucking
train.
annoying. I gotta clean that fucking truck. I really do.
I've got to. I have a random can somewhere in my car that's underneath the seat, and I can hear it when I turn the corner.
Yeah, it's so
I'm
annoying.
And then I forget about it. Like,
When I cleaned out my old car, I found my old handicap parking space from before my knee surgery when I couldn't walk. It's like, oh,
nice.
Use
that was.
Never need to go real quick into a store.
Yeah.
Just
Pop
gimp
that
it out.
puppy right on.
Drag it out. Oh, it's good when we find things from the past. Though I found an interview. A lot of people tuned in actually on Tuesday for the UCR Rewind, which was with friend of the show Nicole Rimini and her very famous sister.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, from back in 2011, folks.
Wow.
That's when that all happened. So I think there was a bit of nostalgia for the older fans. There's a fair few people watched it. It's a 2-hour show, and people watched nearly all of it. I was like, wow, okay, we're tuning in.
Well, she is one of the few people that made it out of the
Scientology.
without death.
Yeah, well, look.
Oh, did I say that out loud?
Where is Shelley Miscavige?
No.
We don't know. She's just gone with the winds. Gone with the winds.
Silly me.
But before we reference the ever-shaking moves of Miss Katrina A. Johnson, I will be catching up with her next week. So we're going to have a little catch-up with Kitty and talk about all things Creative Arts Emmys and
Yay!
her brand new con that she's appearing at called SplatCon, which is run by one of her All That alumni. So we've got a lot to talk to Katrina about. So if you are a Katrina A. Johnson fan, tune in next week. We're going to have a little chat with Kitty and talk about all things formal wear and, dresses and the creative arts Emmys. And her being a fancy celebrity lady. She did. She looked right. She did look gorgeous. She always does. Yeah. She can't help it. It's just who she is. And the rest of us. But look, I will admit, if you ever take a photo with her, she'll do you justice. She'll do you justice. That girl and her filters. Oh wow! I was like, who is that person? Because it's certainly not me. And I'm like, can you send me because when we caught up when we were in LA, 2 years ago now. Wow. I'm like, can you send me the unedited one? And she's like, yeah, sure. And it was just me, not filtered, and her. I'm like, oh, okay, I see you. I see you, bitch. I see you, bitch. I know how it goes. Man. But that's how she goes. So she's been a busy girl, but we are setting some time aside to do a catch up. So before we see her in the flesh, let's see her flesh jiggle.
Hot load of hot topics.
The ultimate Vera and Katrina collaboration.
I know.
Collaboration. Right? I love it. It just makes me so happy. Everyone's like, oh, wow. 784 dildos and 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
No, it's 794.
784 bottles. 84 dildos. Yeah.
He's got me beat.
That's a lot of dildos.
Whoa!
Who had
my God!
Every color of the rainbow.
Good. Well, that's not 780. Awesome. That's not.
No. Oh. That's not 780 dildos. I've seen 780 dildos.
But somebody had to catalog them.
Someone had to
poor
physically
little
count. They're like
Elio had to count them. Purple with bunny
large
ears.
Vein. Large vein running up shaft.
Sloppy.
So this
there would not be enough gloves.
Right.
I'd have 3 layers of gloves on.
Yeah.
But imagine your schooling, like you went to school for this, right? And they call you up and they're like, listen, you got to go to Diddy's house. You got to collect all the dildos.
You got to catalog them. You got to triple bag them.
College graduate.
3 extra gloves.
And there's just picked up Joe Schmo off the street.
and there's going to be some baby oil to catalog too.
Some baby oil. Some baby oil. So for those of us that are not in the know, the FBI have released the evidence found at Diddy's houses and businesses when the raids happened a couple of months ago now.
Months ago.
The evidence found included guns, ammunition, electronic evidence, which means some tapes and cameras, but also found were more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and 784 dildos. Now,
well, I mean, we are laughing, but the description of what went on is kind of horrific.
Yeah, look, if you don't know what's been happening with Diddy, this is the latest in the celebrity bring down culture that is seeming to really kick off in 2024. And we've been talking about this for a hot minute, but if you want to go on a deep dive, you need to get on the TikTok and find Jaguar Wright's videos, and everything she has said has happened. So it's really like there's some big names associated with Diddy, like movers and shakers galore, and it's all about now if he talks.
Right,
because it's a case of if he, we've seen it all happen before. If he gives state's evidence and takes down a bigger fish, they
I
may
think
be
he's
more lenient with him.
Right?
Like,
Yeah,
who
well,
knows?
you never know. That's part of how they do shit.
But these
I
are
think he's
huge names.
You know
Huge
what
names
is
in the entertainment industry. And you're just like,
amazing
Who?
to me?
Jay-Z, Beyonce, like
Will
huge
Smith.
name. Will Smith, the Kardashians.
Yes. Kanye.
Kanye, it's huge, huge,
Oh
huge,
my
huge.
God.
Oprah,
Oprah.
Oh, fuck.
yeah. But this goes all right. So this is a good conversation because a lot of stuff that we're talking about today applies to last week when we had this conversation about semantics and being associated with somebody
It's
for
not a
going
guilt
to a party
verdict.
is not a guilty verdict. It's very interesting to see though after the whole drama came out. Diddy's been kind of doing these really weird videos. Like he did a video of his 50th birthday where he was very sure to find celebrity faces that were there that celebrate with him regularly and show them quite graphically. There's another video of him with his adopted daughter reading a list of names to people that people are going, this wasn't a shout out, these are the people,
right?
And it's a very, very long list of names.
Well, today I saw a thing that said that Justin Bieber spoke out. Like, I didn't see the video. Did he say anything?
No.
Justin Bieber, when he was underage at the time too.
Yeah, so the whole look, we have to be. I'm gonna put this up because we have to be
allegedly
very careful with what's going on because it's not fact yet.
Right.
It's not fact yet, but it is being alleged, and some of this. The thing with Jaguar, right? She's like, I've told people to sue me if I'm not telling the truth. You can't sue someone who's telling the truth. So she's been speaking out. She is unafraid. Like she's a brave woman. Let's put it that way.
Well,
she's going for it.
There's somebody else who's been speaking out about it for years.
Yeah,
Cat Williams.
Yeah,
Cat Williams talked about it on his HBO special.
And that's what Jaguar Wright said. She said, "Cat Williams made me who I am." That was his 30th birthday present to me. He was like, so they're not shy in. A lot of this has been speculated, quote unquote, for years. Diddy's relationship with Usher when he was underage was always, there are hospital records saying that Usher was taken to hospital at a young age because of injuries that he had sustained that, may or may not be because of sexual assault, etc. And then Usher became Justin Bieber's legal guardian.
Yeah, that's really wild.
And yeah, there's a lot. Wow. It's a dark hole to go down. If you are sensitive at all about
what's her TikTok handle?
If you just get on there and type in Jaguar, right, it's all over the place. Like
Jaguar?
Jaguar.
Like the
Jaguar. Yeah.
Like the cat.
Okay.
Like the cat.
Right. Jaguar,
and
right.
she, yeah.
But WRITIES?
WR, yeah.
Right. Like you're right.
No. WRIGHT.
One of the things that I remember Cat Williams saying in his comedy special very clearly was there was a cutoff time. You could get the invite and go to the Diddy party, but you had to make sure you left by a certain time because otherwise shit went down.
Yeah.
But see, this isn't new news. You think about someone like Aubrey O'Day from Making the Band and Danity Kane, who was a Diddy employee, and she's always been like, he's a monster. He's and because Aubrey looks the way Aubrey looks, and presents herself the way she presents herself, people are like, oh well, you were asking for it. You wanted to be famous and da da da. It's like, oh okay. That's a vibe.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
She was asking for it. Defense never flies with me.
Well, there was that accusation leveled at Cassie Ventura as well. I saw today that I can't remember who it was. It's some random rapper that is obviously chasing a little bit of exposure, but said you wanted to be famous. I'm like, yeah, but I don't think anyone
No.
is gonna put themselves
Wanted to
into
be
10
famous.
years.
I didn't want to go to a party and get fucking attacked,
Right.
or be put into a situation that I couldn't get out of.
I mean,
Right.
we've all seen that video of Cassie getting beaten, like that, and that's one video.
Yeah.
Right.
One video in a
Bad.
10-year relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's
One
not the
video
first
that we
time.
only have because of a security camera.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
And there was probably no cameras up in that bitch with him.
well,
I mean,
this is
there
the thing.
was. He probably they
Jag, you
deleted
were
it.
right. Just released it. There's just a video that's come out. Have you about Channing Tatum's new movie, Blink Twice?
Yeah, I've heard of
No.
it, but
So it's all about this millionaire playboy kind of guy that takes people to an island.
Oh,
And
yes.
They have to give people their phones and
Yes,
and
I've
then
seen it.
so there's clips of the movie interspersed with real life clips of people getting on a boat to Diddy's parties, and all their phones have to go away. They get their
Mhm.
phones
Yeah.
confiscated, etc. When they walk through the door, it's like truth is stranger than fiction.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And again, this is the tip of the iceberg here. I think there's so much that you're never gonna know until victims start to speak out.
Right.
And
Right.
hopefully with him behind bars, that will start to happen and we'll get some clarity on the situation because, yeah, look, things go viral on TikTok and everyone has their 2 cents. But until we start to hear from people like Cassie, from the countless male celebrities that it's happened to as well, because Diddy was equal opportunities when it came to abuse, etc. It's going to take someone brave enough and big named enough to step forward and go, "This is what happened," for it to kind of really have the ramifications that it needs to. It's reverberating. There's this mass exodus of Twitter content. People are wiping their Twitters, like Usher, Pink, like they're wiping whole Twitter, like their entire past is gone off Twitter.
Pink?
That is fucking scary.
Pink?
Yeah. Pink. I know.
Wow.
Mum Rock. I know. That was a name that I didn't expect to see.
Well,
But,
Oprah, that's a name I don't expect to see.
But see, this is the thing. This is why someone needs. We need people to step forward to go. Okay, were you just at a party or were you complicit?
Right.
Because
right.
You can go to, as I said last week, you can go to anyone's house if you're invited, but it doesn't mean you believe what they believe and etc. When things come out later on. Yeah, I know, right? Pink was a surprise.
Pink was a surprise.
Pink's a big surprise.
It's
not a
name.
name.
Names. I think we have to list it off because this is like.
I
feel like I'm in a work meeting and you're like holding information away from me.
the list keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Tell me
That's
what's
the
happening
thing.
with the company.
And it's not just celebrities.
I didn't know about Pink.
Pink's only been a recent, conversation.
I didn't know about Oprah either.
But you know what though? Like also, I have to say, like if like you said, like he's in, you would hope that people would say more, like or come out and speak about it. Like, but honestly, it's Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kardashians, like. Who's really going to say anything if these people are still out there and you know that they're guilty in whatever way that they are, or what allegedly were a part of something that,
this is
I would be afraid.
This is the thing, because this is not just relegated to the modern day. This goes back to Tupac and Biggie stuff. This goes back to the death of Aaliyah. All of this stuff.
The
allegations are that was all put into play by these people, And
I actually
the
saw.
more evidence that, like, the more stuff that comes out, you're like, oh, okay, it kind of does make sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that meme? It was of Biggie, and you know how he had a lazy eye.
Yeah.
It's like the quote said, like it was like Biggie, like in the background, and his like one eye was this way and one eye was this way. And it said like Biggie didn't have a lazy eye; he just had to keep one eye on Diddy at all times.
Right.
I didn't see it.
Well, probably not untrue, sadly.
Oh,
Right.
so
Like,
funny! Oh my
it's
god!
yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I think this is something we're going to be
And
talking
yeah,
about
too.
for a long time to come.
Didn't we hear that Diddy had something to do with Tupac, right? Dying or
Yeah,
like
well,
getting
this
shot?
we talked about this ages back when R. Kelly got done, right?
Right.
Because Jaguar Wright said R. Kelly. R. Kelly's the first one down. This
Right.
is low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Now they're going after Diddy because as she said, he's the acceptable monster. He's the one that they're willing to sacrifice
Because he did that to Diddy.
Well,
to Biggie.
And he's not, his star isn't as it was in the early 2000s, late 90s. Like, when he was a mogul, like, he's not what he was, but there are other people in his place now that are obviously more than willing to go. Because this evidence has to be handed to the FBI somehow from someone, right?
So,
right.
I mean, Mace, like his right-hand man, like when he was in the heat of it, right after Biggie died, Mace was like P. Diddy's right-hand guy. And he has a podcast too. And recently, I mean, not like, I guess, before or after this happened, like you've seen clips of them like making fun of him. But I have yet to hear Mace speak out on anything after like this whole house raid and the bottles of oil and all the dildos, whatever. I even asked my friend, I said, has Mace said a word about anything? And he said, nope. And I'm like, because he probably has something to do with it too.
You can't,
like,
you incriminate yourself.
Behind him.
It's like,
there's enablers in every corner.
There is. And what a fantastic segue because, there are dildos and there's some people that just act like them. I'm so disappointed in Janet Jackson.
What exactly happened?
Janet Jackson, this story is again twisting and changing as the days progress. So she did an interview with The Guardian where she towed the line that Kamala Harris is white.
Yes.
I'm like, of all the people to question people's race, knowing what it did to her brother,
right?
And regardless of what you think of Michael, and et cetera, this is something that she has firsthand experience with. It just, and this is the comments to these articles that after she said it, like she's just not in the real world. There comes a time, a certain level of celebrity where you don't have to associate with the real world. She's like, I don't watch the news, but I hear this is what I've heard this is what I've heard they're saying on TV. So it must be fact, like someone else we talked about last week, saying, well, I heard it a few weeks ago. I heard it on TV, so it must be real.
Right.
It's so damaging, though. Like, for anyone, especially for someone whose career is built on, massive rights issues. Think about Rhythm Nation.
Right.
Equality,
everything, and her family. I mean,
I'm just like, really?
Oh my God.
But this is where it twists and turns because there was a retraction issued to BuzzFeed, right? That says, so Janet's verbatim quote was, "She's not black. That's what I heard. That she's Indian." Her father's white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. I was told that she was discovered her father is white. Okay, cool. Whatever. Not particularly like offensive, but definitely uninformed. Right? There's a statement issued to BuzzFeed by someone that says Jackson deeply respects Vice President and her accomplishments as a Black and Indian woman. Janet apologizes for any confusion caused and acknowledges the importance of accurate representation in public discourse. We appreciate the opportunity to address this and will remain committed to promoting further unity. All fine and good, right?
Right.
Except this guy doesn't work for Janet Jackson.
He doesn't? I thought it was her
He
manager.
has nothing to do with it. They don't know who he is, but he keeps issuing statements on her behalf. This is not the first time it's happened.
Oh,
I'm like,
funny.
that's so weird. But then her actual publicist had to walk back his comments in Variety, mind you. That says this man does not represent Janet in any capacity. They further said the Jackson siblings will not be commenting on the interview as they are mourning the older brother. Lost their older brother, Tito, who passed away last
Tito
week.
did die.
Which is now exposing even more problems because what's happening in Janet's world, if people don't know, she's being managed by Randy Jackson.
Like Brittany, like a conservatorship kind of deal?
Because she's keeping it in the family. That's what the Jacksons do. But Randy is a massive anti-vaxxer. Like Randy's problematic. Let's put it for someone whose career is based on, Rhythm Nation. Your brother is back there in the 60s when he's doo-wopping with the Jackson 5.
Well, is he barbecuing roadkill?
I don't know what's happening, but everyone's like she's being purposely misinformed and shielded from the world. But you can't claim ignorance on stupidity,
right?
Especially as someone who was an activist, race, gender, sexuality. Like she's been this huge icon of activism and rights. How do you become that out of touch?
I would like to find out sometime. So if anybody's got a few spare million lying around,
so disappointing. Like I packed my Janet Jackson shirts away. I'm like, you need to go away for a little while, girl. As someone who is a lifelong fan of the woman, I'm like, that's disappointing.
It's disappointing, but I mean,
my heroes. Ouch. But it happens. You find out that people are human.
Yeah.
But again, you can't claim ignorance on stupidity. Like,
well,
there's nothing stopping her from turning on a television. In this case, I mean, for someone who is at her level of, supposed social awareness,
right?
That's just your own misgivings.
But
it
kind of begs the question: was that real or was that for show?
Yeah,
was
exactly.
Rhythm Nation a moment in her life,
yeah.
or just an idea that she let go of,
For what?
Rhythm Nation is not, doesn't have to define her.
For good or for ill, no matter what you think of Madonna, her activism has been consistent.
Yes,
consistent for her career. Like, you may hate her,
and same with Jane Fonda. Her activism has been very constant.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who maintain their opinions in spite of public,
that's
outcry.
the difference. Jane Fonda and Madonna have managed to stay relevant with their activism as well.
Jane's a badass. She's been arrested many fucking times.
I love her. We love Jane Fonda.
did a whole tutorial on a talk show about what you need to do if you're going to protest and you might get arrested.
The younger
Write your
generation.
lawyer's name on your arm, you know.
Yeah,
keep
for
it one form
younger
of ID,
generations,
you know. She had a
it's
whole
very
list
interesting.
of suggestions. If you're going to a
Wow.
protest and you think you might get arrested, do this, do this, do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
But it's interesting to see the 180 that's happened in, you know, that time. Well, for certain generations, there are certain generations that she will always be Hanoi Jane, and you know,
Yes, my father went to his grave calling her Hanoi Jane,
a traitor to the American race, and rah rah rah, you know. But she has remained steadfast in her support and her belief and her actions. More importantly, she hasn't ever walked back anything that she's done.
Nope.
So this is what I did because it's what I believed in. And I think that's refreshing in this day and age. Like when people are going to issue a public apology because, you know, I said something potentially harmful 20 years ago. I'm like, you can't. There has to be, and we do have this conversation a lot too. There has to be some kind of not lenience, but I guess understanding that the world itself has changed, and the people that we all were 10 years ago aren't necessarily the people we are today.
You have to allow anybody, everybody, room to evolve, to change.
Right, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's so funny that one of my very best friends from college, he was one of the first people. I came from a small town. I came from a Republican military family. You know, I had a very small worldview. And when I went to college, Paul was one of the first people at SU to challenge my worldview and to make me see a bigger picture and to make me think more liberally. And now he's a freaking Trumper. It's like, oh my God. Doesn't the world spin, you know?
Yeah. I can't hear you, Stevie.
I can't hear you, Stevie.
At least the world is, you know, is keeping us on our toes. Someone that's consistently changing the narrative. But I wasn't going to talk about him today, but we have to. Oprah's not Oprah anymore, apparently. Says Donald.
She's not Oprah? Who is she?
No, that's not Oprah Winfrey, apparently, because he appeared on her talk show, and the fact that she has endorsed Kamala Harris has a, you know, put a little bit of a foul taste in his craw.
Yeah.
This is the quote verbatim. A long time ago, Oprah Winfrey asked me to do her last network television show. The final week of her show was a big deal. It was actually, he was in the final month, not the final week, and it was about his wife, not him. Just to fact check. And it was my honor with my family to do it, he wrote on Truth Social. When I watched her interview yesterday with a woman who is destroying through her complete and total incompetence America, I couldn't help but think, this isn't the real Oprah. This isn't the person that wants This isn't a person who wants millions of people from prisons and mental institutions and terrorists, drug dealers, and human trafficking. Oh, it's one run on
sentence. Yeah, I wouldn't try.
From all over the world, pouring into our country badly. Mentally unfit to run the country. This made me chuckle. Comrade Kamala Harris is mentally unfit to be president. She knows it, and so does everyone else. I'm sorry, who's Vladimir Putin's best friend?
Right. And Erdogan and all of them. He loves a strong man. He actually, in the debate, referred to what's his name as a great strong man, and without any
irony
at all. He's a strong man. I love a strong man. Yeah, a strong man is a dictator, Doc.
Yeah.
You know,
just ignore all that.
Who's gonna fuck us if Kamala becomes president?
No,
just ignore all those war crimes.
I disagree completely.
She has no control over him if she becomes president. I guarantee that. That's
she
why he's
is a member of the Allied Nations, my dear. The
I
Allied
don't think
Nations
that
will
it does
stick
not
by us.
matter.
Yes, the Allied Nations will
I'm
stick
telling
by a unified front. Absolutely.
Terrified.
And she has so much more governance experience than Donald Trump ever dreamed
She
of.
is-
She's been elected to office for
All right,
22 fucking years.
We're gonna come back to it because
She hasn't
it's
done a
still too
motherfucking
early.
thing in those 22 years.
It's still too
She's
early.
done amazing things in those 22
Tell me
motherfucking
one
years.
thing she has done.
She
Tell me
has
one thing she has
instituted one
passed.
of the most brilliant anti-recidivism programs for young men entering the prison system in California. She won
You know what else she
$20
did? She made
billion. She won a $20
the
billion
murderer of an
lawsuit.
11-month-old get a
$20 billion
transgender
lawsuit against
surgery.
the fraudulent mortgage companies in Southern California. She got $20 billion for people who've been defrauded by illegal mortgages. She's done a lot. I'm sorry if you haven't seen it.
done a
I'm
lot
sorry
more
if you
bad
don't
than
believe
good.
me, but she has.
I beg
But
to
she's
differ.
also-
That's all.
She's also not a convicted criminal. So we're
It
gonna
doesn't
move
matter.
on. We won't.
At
This,
this
as I
point,
said,
it doesn't
it's
matter.
still too early. I refuse to hand over the show.
I don't think it's early at all. I think we're late in the game. We're about a month and a half away, right?
Yeah, because look,
It's
He means
coming
it's
in.
too early in the morning for him to listen
too
to
early in
us
the
talk
morning for
politics.
me
Yeah.
to deal with this. Because if you want a hot button topic, all you have to do on our page is put up an article about Rob Schneider and Elle King. People hate this woman.
What does she even sing? I don't even know that she was a
X's and
Grammy.
O's is her
X's
biggest
and
hit.
O's was her big hit. I really
Yeah.
loved that song.
She's a four-time
It is a good
Grammy,
song.
like she's a four-time Grammy nominee. It's just like it's nothing that like what awards does Rob Schneider have? But anyway, that's not the point. So she's back in the news. Back in the news because he issued a public apology to her regarding, you know, the drama that we discussed before about her childhood and when she was on a podcast. Her comments that have sparked a little bit of furor. I think an apology on Tucker Carlson is like a double negative, right? It means nothing. You know, which is true. And of course, the comment section is full of fat, ugly bitch.
She's not fat anymore. Have you seen her lately?
Fat, ugly bitch, talented, talentless, nepo baby. You're only famous because of your father, etc., etc. Nobody knew who her father was when she first came out.
Yeah, she was Elle King.
When she had her big hit, nobody knew who her father was.
Yeah, no.
And the reason that we have any idea of the relationship is because the media has dug it up. So instead of being, yes, okay, the argument is that, and, you know, she went on a podcast and talked about her father because she was asked about it. You know, she could have said nothing, but she was like, yes, this is my experience. She didn't like beg him for an apology. She's like, this is how our relationship is, etc. Instead of referencing it with her, he then went to the media to make his apology. Does a public apology before a private one kind of negate it? Not just in this situation, but I think in general.
Specific situation, if he's discussing it with Tucker Carlson and he's not discussing it with his daughter, he's not finding a way forward with her, it's hard to take it as sincere.
Yeah.
You know, but there are occasions when somebody issues a public apology and you have to take them at face value.
I don't know. Like if it's something, I think it's something as personal as your childhood and, you know, the way that you are raised, the relationship you have with your parent, you would hope that they would come to you first before worrying about the bad PR.
So my opinion is like, since the clip of her talking about him, right, went viral and it wasn't, you know, behind closed doors and leaked or whatever, right? that him making a public apology on Tucker Carlson, I don't think that it's matching her energy in a way, because it was out there, it's for all to see, so why not make the apology out there for all to see? Like,
Isn't that
especially if they don't have that communication in person or over text, or they don't,
Right.
obviously they clearly don't speak to each other.
Mhm.
So how else is she going to hear from him?
But doesn't
other
that
than
prove
a
the point
public
as well,
apology?
though? Like, doesn't
I
that prove her
agree,
point
it's
further?
not the
Where
right
she's
way.
like,
Oh yeah,
he wasn't involved. He wasn't involved in my life as a child. He forgot my 18th birthday. Like,
yeah, I
like,
get it.
doesn't
Believe
that
me,
prove the
she's
point
in the
further?
right.
Yeah.
But I get why he probably did that. Like on
So,
the other side, I
Can
get
I
it.
ask
Like,
you? Can I ask you guys then? Why do you think there's so much venom directed at her?
Well, I
Because
think part of it is she's a woman. There's always going to be a question mark next to a woman. The misogyny in this culture is rampant. I think that her breakout hit was one about her sexuality over men. I think that triggers a lot of people. I think that she also is the daughter of privilege, whether her childhood was rosy or not, and that triggers emotions in other people. And she fucked up her Dolly tribute. She walked out on stage drunk.
And this is the thing. She's also stepped forward and acknowledged that, though.
Yeah.
It's not like she's tried to sweep that under the rug. She's like, I have an alcohol problem. This is a huge wake up call. I apologize. Dolly herself has said,
Right.
give the girl a break.
Dolly doesn't hate anybody.
Like, Dolly doesn't. Well, not that we know. Not that we know of. I'm sure she does. She's not that perfect. I know Dolly's the queen.
I don't
She's not
know.
that
I think Dolly is as close to Jesus as where anybody's gonna get.
Vera had like the eloquent answer. My answer for like why is everyone against her and not against him is because he's Rob fucking Schneider. Like, he's a great funny
Rob
actor,
Schneider?
and a lot
He
of
was.
under
He
the
was a
Adam
great funny
Sandler umbrella. And
Yes.
guess what? Like, they're coming up with a Happy Gilmore 2. I'm sure he's going to be in it. Like,
Maybe.
He is in
there are
every
a lot of
single
things.
Adam Sandler movie.
Let's
So
see
you
how
know him
sensitive.
as the funny guy.
But
And
let's see
if
how
he couldn't do
sensitive.
that,
Let's
like,
see how sensitive Adam
that's-
Sandler is to bad press.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Adam stands
Adam
by his
Sandler-
friends.
Who knows?
No, Adam stands by his friends.
But Adam Sandler's
Yeah.
name isn't what it used to be either. If we're talking about
Yes,
Diddy,
it is.
Adam
He's
Sandler? Oh my God.
He's in the news all the time.
He is not top of the box office. Like, everything he touches turns to gold anymore.
Leo was amazing. Did you see Leo on Netflix?
Netflix.
He was Leo,
Netflix.
the chameleon or whatever. Yeah.
Netflix.
Oh no,
is
he's
what I'm
working
saying.
with Netflix
It
exclusively
was
these
a
days.
movie. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not.
it was
It's
still a
not.
movie.
It's not
It still
a
did
box office.
great.
It's not a tentpole box office. He's not a Marvel hero.
Netflix
is what I'm
offered
saying.
him a
Touches
big
has
paycheck to
turned
do
to
his
gold.
movies,
But it's still
exclusive
not.
contract for
It's
them.
not the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
I'm not
a
going to fault
cinematic
him for
see how the
taking a
hype-
Netflix paycheck. I'm not going to
The
fault him for
hype-
that.
Yeah, I'm not.
The hype
Yeah, but
over Happy Gilmore 2. I mean, again, like he's still.
but again,
I think he's
that
still
could-
pretty relevant.
that Happy Gilmore 2 could be a box. It could be a thing.
He was
Oh, it
just
but it's Netflix now.
offered, or he just received the Kennedy Center honors,
Oh.
and it was a big freaking deal.
Hello.
Hey, Doxy, where
We thought you were
been?
MIA. We've been talking
Forever.
about you. We were worried.
You died.
Well, we didn't think that.
Uh,
But we were missing you,
We
Doc.
were concerned.
know.
So we were.
Yeah.
We were concerned. But I just think it's interesting. Like, it'll be interesting to see how public reaction works with his brand that is very Netflix now. Because it was mass appeal before. He's earning big. Just wait. He's earning huge money from Netflix.
Yes.
That money's guaranteed. That money's in his pocket. He doesn't have to worry about the box office. He doesn't have
And
to worry
he's
about the
also
box
getting
office.
projects greenlit for his children. His daughter did that That movie about her bar mitzvah.
I don't think we're talking the same thing. I'm talking Adam Sandler, actor, leading man.
Right.
There was a hot streak there where everything he touched turned to gold, and then we got that movie where he played his own sister.
I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, no one does. No one does. And then he kind of went away and came back as a Netflix supported celebrity, which he's doing amazing things with.
And
Netflix.
he had the Diamond Dealer movie where he was nominated for an Academy Award.
This is what I'm saying. He's diversifying his career in a way that he wouldn't be allowed to in a big box office thing because he didn't have the draw.
That movie was released widely.
It was years later.
The Diamond Dealer movie?
Yeah,
I can remember the name. Do you know the name, Christina?
That wasn't.
It was like Diamond. It was like
something Gems. Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. Yeah, but Uncut Gems wasn't straight after Never Been Kissed. Not Never Been Kissed. What's the one with Drew Barrymore?
That's Never Been Kissed.
50 First Dates.
No, 50 First Dates.
Or The Wedding Singer.
No.
Those movies are 20 years apart, is what I'm saying. It hasn't been a consistent, box office. But whose is what I'm like, whose is?
He was much younger, much more able to play the comic.
Semantics. Semantics.
I think that Adam Sandler remains relevant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree there.
I wasn't.
Fuck off, Steve.
Anyway, someone who's gonna be relevant again. Oh, yuck. I've been subjected to 10 to 6 shifts for the past 2 months, and my life has gone out the window.
The window. Were you in France?
Bonjour. Someone whose life is going to be relevant again. Ready? Prince Jr.?
Yes. I'm so
coming back to
middle-aged. Oh my God.
Coming back to the I Know What He Did Last Summer.
He really
I Know What He Did Last Summer reboot / sequel.
Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt still hasn't signed on to, but she's a producer.
Oh, I'm sure she fucking will.
Come on.
Yeah,
she's coming back. She's just sitting there singing on 911 going, make me a scream queen again, my boobs are ready. Like, she's
just tired of sitting up there.
She's got her boobs, like her bra ready in the closet to take out.
I love Jennifer. You can't, nothing you can say can make me not like Jennifer Love Hewitt. I love her. I think she's an underrated singer. Whatever.
She's not relevant.
She's relevant. She's on 911. She's part of a massive TV show. I don't even know what that
fucking show is. Okay.
She only watches Adam Sandler Netflix shows. Oh, I only watch Adam Sandler Netflix.
I haven't seen one episode of that show.
No one runs around quoting 911. Lots of people run around quoting Adam Sandler.
This is very true. Dressing like Adam Sandler. Even.
No one ever knows. No one ever knows the movie Mixed Nuts. Adam Sandler.
Mixed Nuts. It's
Madeline
vaguely familiar. I can't place
it. Steve Martin, Adam Sandler. It's from the 90s. It's fantastic. If you haven't seen it,
it's from the 90s brilliant. When Vera was relevant.
He was very brilliant. Speaking of someone else who's getting a questionable, not glow up, but moment in the sun. Hayden Panettiere is rumored to be starring in her own spin-off series from Scream, but did you guys see the interview that she gave?
She doesn't even look like herself in that picture.
That was big Anna Nicole energy in the latest People interview. I was like, my daughter. Whoa. Hayden. Yeah.
I love her in Country. Does anybody remember Country?
Country.
No.
It was like a musical.
Nashville.
That was it.
Country.
Country.
No, there was that other show with Susan Sarandon that was something country. That was just Nashville, a ripoff. She was so good in Nashville.
Juliet
Barnes.
She does not look like herself in that picture.
But she was in the midst of her addiction issues during Nashville. She was like, I had to drink 3 bottles of vodka a day on set.
Mm-hmm.
and
I
still
remember those.
act like a motherfucker. I was like,
I
wow,
know.
girl.
She was so
But,
good in that.
Yeah, the loss of her
Nashville.
I couldn't even stand.
the loss of her brother has obviously hit her very hard as well. She said in the interview that he was my younger sibling and I was supposed to protect him, and like she's got some big issues with her, her ex-husband taking her daughter and all that kind of stuff because of her addiction issues. I hope that Hayden can get back on top. I think she's a wonderful actress.
Right.
And yeah, I hope she can get back on top. It'd be great to see her in this spin-off, whatever it is, TV show / movie, whatever. So it'd be interesting to see. We've got 5 minutes. I will hold my view from here for next week because it's a bit juicy. It's a bit juicy, and I want to see everyone's reaction because I can tell. I need a few. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'll hold that. I'll put it in my pocket and get ready. Chris, I can imagine Christina's reaction already. It'll be oh fuck off.
We can do it after the event. No.
Next week.
All right.
We're gonna keep people coming back. Keep them coming back in. But now, of course, as Christina has beautifully introed it, because she thinks I'm gonna forget again. Someone's gonna keep me on task, Christina. I like it.
Thank you, Christina. I appreciate it.
Vera.
Vera, man. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Vera events. All right, here's what I propose, by the way, before you vent. If you're ever not in it, we get Christina curses.
Oh, I think that's a good idea.
You have to take over. I've done Stevie Steven Steams.
Katie did something. Katie Kabitzes or something.
Cunted or whatever she did. All right, here we go, V. 3, 2, 1, vent.
All right, we have not spoken about this yet tonight, but as we speak, the North Gulf Coast of Florida is being slammed by a Category 4 hurricane. It was when I did my research for this piece earlier, it was a Category 3. So some of my numbers are off because it's now a Category 4. But as a Category 4, this section of Florida, and it's hundreds of miles long, this coastland, will be hit and is being hit even as we speak. The hurricane should have made landfall by 130-mile-an-hour sustained winds. There are hundreds of thousands of people in this storm's path, and the potential for catastrophic building failure, infrastructure damage, and loss of life is huge. We send our thoughts and prayers to everybody who is in the path of Hurricane Helene. At least I do. I can't speak for everybody, but I send my thoughts and prayers to them. See, me and Christina.
My aunt can't go home because her flight was canceled because she lives in Venice. So really, shout out to my family who lives down there. I'm sorry.
But, this is a but, I want to talk about the costs. Not because I begrudge anybody the cost of rebuilding this area or the cost of helping these people put their lives together, but because I have heard so many people scream about, why should I pay for somebody's woman history degree? Or why should I pay for somebody's sex change operation? The number of women's history degrees and sex change operations that you might even pay for are less than $10 million. The cost of these hurricanes is going up all the time because these hurricanes are intensifying with climate change, and they are causing more and more damage to the coastal United States. And they are eroding the beaches, they are eroding the lands. Florida itself is actually sinking because of the shrinking, not sinking, my mistake, shrinking because the intensity of these storms is pulling sand away from the shores and shortening the seashore. But that's not what I want to talk about. Every single Category 3 hurricane that hits the United States coast costs around $2 billion in today's market. And since 2016, the last 8 years, We have spent $200 billion in recovery costs from hurricanes. This is climate change. And I want to talk about how Project 2025 is going to affect the recovery plans for the future. I know everybody's telling me Project 2025 doesn't mean anything. Project 2025 is a blueprint to move forward with a less socialist government. And part of the things that they want to eliminate is things like storm recovery. They want to eliminate the National Hurricane Center. They want to eliminate the National Oceanic Atmospheric Association. They want to eliminate FEMA. These organizations are vital in these storms. They were vital in all the storms from whatever coast got hit, but they are very vital in the state of Florida. The National Center for Hurricanes tracks these hurricanes and names these hurricanes and estimates damages and estimates impact and estimates path. The National Oceanic Association has tracked and followed these hurricanes for years and has been measuring the inside of the storm. They have the equipment to know where the path of the storm is going to be, to know what kind of damage it's going to do. They are the predictors for the federal government and the emergency response. FEMA is boots on the ground after the storm. They are money directly to each and every homeowner in the path of the storm to help them rebuild their lives. And that's not including the infrastructure costs, the cost of rebuilding the roads and the bridges and the traffic lights and the lighting poles that are going down in this storm. That is not including the cost of the workers that have to go into Florida to help them recover from this storm. Now, there is a mutual aid society between all these energy companies, and they do help each other out. But they're not helping each other out for free. They are still paying their employees who give up time away from their families and go down to these disaster sites and fix these power lines and this infrastructure. They are still paying for the materials that they bring with them to these disaster sites to fix it. Billions of dollars. And I do not begrudge a dime of that to anybody who's in harm's way. So I ask you to think about the money that we spend on truly socialist causes and stop whining about a couple of degrees.
She's done.
I am done. When I make the face in my the frowny face.
Of course, what Vera says goes for us all. We do have UCR family down in Florida as well. So Marie, we hope you are safe and sound, and all your family, and of course all of Christina's family and everyone in general. Natural disasters are horrendous, and again, like I said a couple of weeks ago, it's times like this that you need to remind yourself, and that, there but for the grace of God go I, and you would hope that when the world kicks you in the tits that someone's going to be there to help you out and lift you up. And let's all be nice people and good humans and look after each other and all that shit, because we like it.
We do.
We got stuff. It's very nearly spooky season. We are days away.
It's already spooky season in parts of Auburn. People have got their spooky on.
It's nearly officially spooky season. So we got some spooky content coming. We've got an interview. We've got to do a couple of reviews. But I will be over there for some spooky season stuff. There's something special coming your way.
For spooky season, we need Tim to give us a tour of his yard decoration.
We definitely need Tim's decoration.
We definitely need that.
We need all that.
Honestly, but I feel like going down the block and showing you what my neighbor did, because 3 houses actually down my block are decked out.
I wanted to talk about the police presence in your neighborhood last week. That was scary as hell.
God. Okay. Oh my God! Last Friday,
we can go long. Let's go. Yep.
Okay, so I'll try to make it as fast as I can. Last Friday, some jackass stole a piece of he stole a quad or what do you call it? ATV. Okay, and it had like a snowplow on the front of it. I don't know where he stole this from, but there's this place called Top Golf, like in Holbrook over here, and it's like where it's like a driving range, but it's fun. Like you could drink, and it traces your ball, and it tells you the shot. You can play games with all your friends. Like, it's a cool place. So some guy is recording 4 cop cars chasing this ATV out of Top Golf, like through the Top Golf parking lot and out of Top Golf. And there's a helicopter already there, okay? I'm sitting out front. I'm having a cigarette, watching my show. And I'm just sitting there minding my fucking business. I have no idea what happened at Top Golf, right? All of a sudden, I see an ATV drive by my house and 4 cop cars fly right by. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? You know, well, like, whatever. It is what it is. People chasing people, right? So no more than like 10 minutes later, I see a helicopter like as far as I can in the distance. And it's coming closer and it's coming closer and it's coming closer. I was like, what the fuck? And it's got its searchlight on. And I'm like, this guy, I was like, oh, they're looking for the guy on the ATV, obviously. Right. So the searchlight, no shit, comes right over my house. And I'm looking up at the helicopter. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get in trouble. Like, oh my God, are they looking for me? You know, like I feel like I shouldn't be outside, right? Because they might, you know, confuse me for the guy who's running away, who just decided to like hide in somebody's front yard, right? So I'm like, oh my God, and then it goes over my neighbor's house. It circles around, and all of a sudden, like, I just look down, and I look down the street, and I see lights, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get my phone, right? So I close out of my show. I open my phone. I get my camera ready. No shit, this guy stops and pulls into like my neighbor's front yard across the street. And all the cops swarm and they're like, get on the ground, Frank, get on the ground. Oh, and I'm like, what the fuck? And the helicopter is still circling with the searchlight. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm in my front yard. And the first thing I think of was like, you know, get this on camera. And then the second I heard the cops say, get on the ground, Frank, get on the ground, see your hands, see your hands. I was like, fuck, what if he has a gun? So I literally hid behind. And when I tell you, I hid behind, like, you know those like gazebos, like legs. Like if you're under like one of those iron gazebos, like how it has like this fancy like wrought iron gate. I was hiding behind that as if that's gonna protect me. I'm a fucking stray bullet. Like, are you fucking serious? So I'm like, oh my God. So I go like this. And again, like this is gonna stop a bullet from hitting. So I'm standing there, I'm recording, and I'm like, oh my God. And so it turns out, because since I had that video, I posted it to the Long Island Wise guy. He's like a page that posts all the shit that happens around Long Island. Right. So I sent it to him. And when I saw the Top Golf video, I was like, oh my God, I have the video of him getting arrested. So everybody's messaging me to send them the video. So I sent a couple of videos to a couple of the people of the video. And some girl sends me the rap sheet of the guy. So it was grand larceny over $4,000. He got property damage over $1,000. He was driving under the influence of drugs. It wasn't even that he was, drunk or anything. Because I saw them do the sobriety test. The guy was like touching the finger. He had no problem. Like, really, I'm sure he was either high or on pills. And something else. He was driving under the influence. It was grand larceny, property damage. There was switching lanes and avoiding the police. He hit a car. All these things. Like, oh my God. Basically, he's fucked. And it was just like the most insane fucking thing to ever happen. Like, of all the places for this guy to stop the chase. And you caught it on film. I know. I was like, oh my God, the luck I have. Like I'm thinking like, oh, this is going to go viral. This is so cool. And then
it would have been even better if you put an uncensored radio watermark on the film.
I know. Oh my God, I should have. You can take the video. I have it. So I'll send you guys it. It's fine. It was actually on my TikTok because then I started. That's why I saw it was on your TikTok. Yeah, I started to like chop up the video because my neighbor was texting me and she's like, what the fuck is going on? I said, come here. I go, I'm by the front gate. I said, come through my yard. because I'm a corner house and there's so many bushes that like even if I
Yeah.
were to stand in my front yard, you couldn't really see. And that's what sucks the most is the bushes really blocked a lot
Obscure
of the
that
view.
stuff, yeah.
But I was like, fuck it. I was like, I gotta get him. And I'm like by my front gate and I'm watching. She comes up behind me and she's like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, this is the craziest shit ever. Like,
well,
oh
I
my
saw the
God.
video on TikTok and it's like, I have got to ask her about that.
Yeah, my God. It was fucking insane. Like, again, just like little excitements, throughout the,
You know,
the night.
and they
it was
say
just like,
suburbia's boring.
oh no, not on this block.
Not on this block, baby.
Oh my
This ain't
God.
no Sesame Street. It's a
No.
good
No,
segue
definitely
out of
not.
here. Thank you for joining us this week. The lovely Christine, as always, vivacious Vera. I've been Steve. Please tune in with us again next week when I'll be talking with Ms. Katrina A. Johnson, and we will be back for UCR Live to discuss the dregs of pop culture news. Till then,
Bye.
stay relevant.
Fuck off.
Bye. So hot, want to touch the hiney.